You better invest and pay me in hex.
Greetings, salutations. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. It's the Crypto Wonder here with another show. People. What's going on, everybody? I know I talk about crypto a lot is because Hex has been nothing short of interesting, and I mean that in a positive way. Interesting and exciting. The anticipation for so many things make it exciting too. And when you're watching how certain things develop and operate within the ecosystem, oh my goodness, there's just so much going on. And I try to present information because some people say that I'm some type of fanboy and all this stuff or whatever. Because they just don't understand. And who cares? I'll be a fanboy if every day at 00 UTC, something is clicking. The contract is clicking. Click, click, cha-ching. Okay? 00 UTC. That's enough for me to say, okay, thumbs up of approval. Another thing, like I've said before with previous situations, and what I mean by previous situations, I've been a part of different communities in crypto in the last several years. And let me tell you, a lot of the communities that I've been a part of, most of them haven't been successful except for maybe one. And I say that with all respect. And the reason why I say maybe one is because that community, from what I actually, just from knowing how the community was based off of, as far as dealing with the different project, different system, it's still working as far as the development of its system. It's operating, it's functioning, sure. But the interest as far as the generating of volume, of people coming back, of people leaving, of the community growing, leaves a lot to be desired. And there's no disrespect, it's just a reality. And that's just not something that's just singular to that community. It happens to many communities in crypto. You have moments where things are great. Folks are excited, everybody's happy, and making money hand over fist. And then something happens where the interest dies down, the hype dissolves, it goes away, and then you're still there. Those who remain there, who didn't sell, who didn't leave, those who really believe,
You better invest and pay me in hex.
have to wonder, when's the next pump coming back? When's the next hype cycle going to return? And it's not necessarily a thing of waiting for a hype cycle because people want to pump and dump. But I'm talking about like waiting for a situation where folks naturally become interested and want to participate in whatever is going on so that they can be whole, so that they can remain, they can sell, they can trade, they can hold, they can leave, they can do whatever they want and be satisfied with the situation, especially during the bull and bear markets. Because make no mistake, you could make money in both styles of marketing if you know what you're doing, in both styles of the markets if you know what you're doing. But many communities remain stagnant when new participants do not utilize whatever it is they have going on. That is not the same with Hex. That hasn't been the same with Hex. I know from experience, I know from watching, I know from observation, I know from studying, I know from doing the research. It hasn't been the same with Hex in 3+ years. And I missed the first year. I missed the first year.
You
First
better
13
invest
months,
and
I was
pay
out
me
of the
in
game.
hex.
But these last 2 years showed me a lot. Taught me not only about resilience, and it's just the interest, like how people, we understand that they're market makers and people affect markets, and they purposefully do things and engage in certain activities, whether it's to create pumps and dumps or generate volume and interest and all these things to force things to go a certain way, especially if you're a whale, right? You have huge economic energy and money, and you want to make things do whatever it does. Pump prices, provide liquidity, dump prices, dump coins, sell coins, do whatever it is, because you have the economic power, the financial power to do that. That happens. But in this case, when you see people who dump over 100 million hex into the market, and for it to just give a little blemish of a price difference, a price decrease, and for moments later for that to be bought up, or for the price to return, or not to really suffer any type of disastrous loss in the hex community, that's something that should be noted and celebrated, and just kind of like help you understand that it's different with hex. There are so many communities, and I say this respectfully, they're dead in the water. Dead in the water. And what I mean by that is not necessarily that, they've expired, but there's no activity. They're waiting. Folks are just sitting there stagnant with their bags, not doing anything. No one's, there's no real interest. People don't care about coming into the community and do whatever they're doing. They're making no money. There are L1s, blockchains that are dead in the water. There are communities that have dealt with Ethereum that are struggling right now, and it's deeper than just about a bear market, because we all know everything is down in the bear market on a universal level. But I'm talking about even within that situation, like with hex, that's not the case. Sure, the price is low, things 95-98% correction from the all-time high, ha ha ha, he, we know this, but even within the last 60 days, 2 months, 2+ months, there's been, if you bought at 1.8 cents, you're holding something, with a couple multiples, right? Couple, 2, 3x, 4x in the middle of it. And people say we're moving out of the bear market or whatever. But overall, what I'm saying is, in this type of market, in this type of climate, you still have a polarized, focused, dedicated community, unwavering. Sure, you got folks who come and go and they do what they do. They feel the way they feel. That's just life in general. But you have a community that's just steadfast, that understands and sees how this thing works, and then is just doing what it's doing. And especially if you're staking, you're appreciating. The price is appreciating within the last 2 months by 3-4x, give or take. And you're staking every day. And then when people, sometimes you have anomalies where there's situations where you get more stakes in certain days than others, because you might have a huge bag that just, penalize themselves because they ended their stakes early, etc., etc. So stakers get blessed left and right, receive rewards left and right, receive airdrops left and right. And then we still, all this time while this is going on, we're still waiting for the developments and the completion of the developments, because pulsechain, to me, it's in the horizon. The future looks bright, like Richard said. This is a guy who constantly, you could tell he's trying to reinvent himself too, because he's a man, he's human, everybody's evolving, everyone's changing. Everyone changes every day, whether you want to believe it or not. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is, like, this whole thing right here, because the general public does not know about hex. The general public barely even knows about crypto, much less hex. Seriously, there are people in crypto who still don't know about hex. But the word is growing, because you can't stop the power of the word. You can't stop energy from existing, because we are of energy. You can't stop good things from happening. You can't stop good word from being spread, from being shared, from growing, from multiplying, from expanding. Because that's what it's taking little by little. Even though my channel is not as big as BitBoy Cryptos or Altcoin Daily or these other, YouTubers that, well, it's no secret with BitBoy gets paid to shill. Doesn't matter. I think just speaking about it helps. Just talking about it helps, because I'm a simple person, man. And this is about just increasing the possibilities of balancing out our financial standing without giving financial advice. I'm talking about things that's just happened, whether you're in it or not. Whether you're in the community or not, this is what's going on. You don't have to be in the community. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to buy Ethereum. You don't have to buy Hex. You don't have to do anything. But this is what's going on. And this is why I've been so, I guess, committed to talk about these things. Because in the interim, while we're going through what we're going through, we are bombarded on a regular basis with ideas and side projects and other sacrifices and plans and dreams that people have and promises that they want to give us. They want to share. They want to distract you, in a sense. Sure, maybe one of them will be solid, but most of them won't, because history has not lied. As far as the experiences I've had, I can't ignore even what I went through. Let's say out of 100 projects, only 1 or 2 were successlike, right? And within a short period of time, if you like, sometimes you gotta look at certain things. Like, how serious are we? How serious are you with your financial future? How serious are you taking certain things? Because step away from the internet and this whole crypto thing seriously. And if you're a able-bodied person, you earn a living, however it is, whether you work, you own your own business, you do a little bit of both, whatever. We know what we need in order to survive. Besides being able to eat, besides being able to rest, besides being able to take care of ourselves, all of that costs money. How are we going to generate it? Because if we don't have a way to have something multiply on our behalf, all we're doing is continuously working our bodies, working our minds tirelessly for a piece of paper that loses value by the moment. Over a period of time, this piece of paper just fizzles out as far as value. The value is reduced tremendously over a period of time. And is that fair? We already know life is not fair. We get that. The wealth distribution is completely uneven. We understand that. But then when you have crypto that's trying to equalize the odds, or at least balance the playing field, why ignore that? Why dismiss it? Give it a chance at least to see and understand and study this opportunity or these things that are occurring right here.
You better invest and pay me in Hex.
It's only, I guess, logical to see, okay,
You better invest and pay me in Hex.
we know we're mortal. Many people might be under some type of narcissistic type of pressures and believe that they're immortal and will live forever. But most of us know that we're not going to be here forever, right? Which also helps us understand that at some point things will change. We're not going to be at our age today. Tomorrow we're going to be older than we are today. Our bodies are going to change. The things that we could do today, we may not be able to do much later in our lives. So the limitations are present, right? When you have something that's available that's going to work on your behalf, if you use it properly, not just simply hold it. Holding it is good. Holding could work. But when you have something that could also work for you, without you having to break a sweat, without you having to become stressed out and develop ailments, because all you do is slave and toil every freaking day for a piece of baseless fiat. When you allow this piece of technology to help you earn much more than what you could physically produce,
You better invest and pay me in hex.
I mean, am I missing something? What would you rather do? What would you rather learn about? What would you rather utilize? What would you rather take advantage of? Because the majority, the general public just does not know. They just do not know about what's going on. A lot of people use entertainment to escape. A lot of people, develop vices because they need to find ways to cope with the stresses of life. Right? We know money is a major motivating factor, and it is also a motivating detractor that can take away and destroy certain fundamental aspects of our lives. Right? Why allow that energy to continue to fester? Why do we do that? Why do we do that? When we can do something today that's going to help us benefit tomorrow. At least first by just obtaining the knowledge, observing, acquiring the information, studying the information, learning about it. Because these are levels of activities that also present value. They don't prevent, they present value because it's valuable information. When you're obtaining the information and you're studying it and it makes sense to you, that's knowledge that you can choose to apply, which becomes wisdom that no one could ever take away from you, but it only expands and it pays you because you're working the knowledge.
You better invest and pay me in hex.
As small as learning about A, understanding how A works, mining A so that you could receive everything that A will bring. You start with A, you mine B, and then receive C. A, B, and C. You have A, you mine it, that's B, and you receive C on a regular basis. I remember back in the days, not very long ago, but recent past, people were talking about universal basic income. You have different places and countries that provide that. Not everyone is receiving that, but then that's tied in with certain, social systems and paradigms that folks start to argue about, communism, socialism, capitalism, all these isms. What I'm talking about is just having a consistent stream of income, consistent stream of monetary flow to help, that can assist, that can even possibly even replace whatever you got going on, so that you could really explore and experience what life has in store for you on a personal level. Some people, all they do is work, and that's what brings meaning, and that's great. Some people, they feel fulfilled, they feel enlivened when that's, they love their work. And so it says, they say when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. More power to them. But some people also work because they have to, they have no choice. And some people assume different jobs. 3 jobs minimum. I know people that work a minimum of 3 jobs, and I say minimum because sometimes they add more to that. I know people for a fact that do this. And I'm not talking about split it with another person. They're individual, 3 jobs. Working on the 4th. Whether it's having 2 full-time joints, believe this, 2 full-time joints and 1 part-time, or 1 per diem, like an on-call, whatever they need, and then assuming another one that's just like that, either part-time or per diem, like 4 different responsibilities. And I look and I say to myself, well, wow. And it's not necessarily that the person loves what they're doing. They're just doing something that they feel that is right up their alley, that's natural. But it's also detracting from certain things in their lives because there's an imbalance that's present there that I'm not going to really get into as far as personal. But if you think about it, if you're working, you have 4 different jobs, 3 to 4 different jobs. What time do you have for yourself? What time do you have to really live? What time do you have to really enjoy, to experience, to travel, to just do different things? What time is there necessary for you to even breathe? And not just breathe like a machine. You're on repeat. You're on a loop. You're living in a loop, in a circle. It's just going round and round and round and round. And it's like a trap.
You better invest and pay me in hex. I'm a threat to those bounded.
And these things that are available to us in crypto, frees us from these traps. It frees us from these traps that we've been socially conditioned to accept, mentally programmed to accept, and think this is the way out. This is what it has to be. This is what life is. My daughter told me something that really moved me, and I'm going to leave y'all with this. She said, every day when she goes to school and she comes home, does her work, goes to sleep, then wake up to go back to school, comes home, she said she feels like her life is on repeat. And that's from a child.
You better invest and pay me in hex.
And I had to step back and look and say, wow, I know exactly what she's talking about, because what she said just spoke directly to my soul. Because I've been living that way for decades.
You better invest and pay me in hex.
And this is before I understood and trust and believe. I wasn't just, not attuned or having, information and opportunities to do different things to add to my repertoire. No, that's not the case. But what I'm saying is we have this opportunity here with crypto that can actually free us in a certain way, to allow us to do things that we really want to do, not things that we have to do, that we don't want to do. You understand? There's a difference. And the more I look at what's going on in the Hex community and how people are, and I'm talking about highlighting the positives, highlighting the strengths, enough of the weaknesses. We quick to identify what's wrong. I'm talking about what's helped things survive and thrive to this point. The behaviors, the condition I'm watching, and I'm really looking and I'm saying, wow, this is different. This is really different. And people just need to know about this, need to at least understand that this exists. You don't have to even come in. You can know, listen, this is what's going on over here.
You better invest and pay me in hex.
This is what's happening over here. Now you have real people doing real things, experiencing life and enjoying and growing as a community throughout the world. It's not just about one central location. I'm talking about throughout the world. Everybody's not gonna see eye to eye. That's not indicative of life. People have their own views, experiences, their own brains, their own roads to travel. That's what, in essence, makes them individuals. But we still, as a collective, are sort of like moving in tandem, in concert, understanding and tapping into something that's great, that can benefit magnitudes more people, more than those of us who are already involved. It will benefit magnitudes more.
You better invest and pay me in hex. I'm a threat to those.
Because the community is not dead. The community is not stagnant. The community, through all kinds of cycles, all kinds of market corrections, that brought the worst out of so many people who have come and gone. Guess what? The community and the activity has expanded even more. So what does that tell you? And many others can't say that, and I don't even care to even speculate and give my opinions why. I've already said on certain cases why I think that is, but it's not present here. And why would you be elsewhere that is void of having that opportunities that remain consistent over a period of time, and where people are actually building to ensure that success is attained on a long-term basis. That's what's taking place here. In present and future, like, these things are here right now, It's here.
You better invest and pay me in hex.
Why not take advantage of it? I got something else to say. I'm gonna leave y'all with this too. I remember in 2018 when the market was sketchy as F. 2019 wasn't a great year for crypto either. And there were certain coins that people were observing, including myself, and I'm thinking, oh, this thing is trash. But it enriched the founder of the coin, where they were receiving tens of thousands because they were able to, I don't know, utilize it in a certain way, mine or have master nodes or multi validator nodes, whatever they were doing. And because of the value of the coin, they were amassing maybe 10, maybe 40, 50K a month. And this is the head of a project, an actual layer one.
You better invest and pay me in hex. I'm a threat to those bound.
And to date, even with the bear market, that 40, 50K a month turned into millions. Because between 2018, 2019 till now, so many changes have taken place. We just experienced a bull market within that short period of time. And the price appreciation also, added to where things are now. And he didn't give up. He didn't stop staking. He didn't stop or mining or validating. However, his protocol was, providing yield to where now this person receives millions of dollars. And I'm not saying that's going to be indicative of every people, because, you have, again, founders. This is a founder. It's one of the one of the most successful ways to become to win in crypto. Either you're a founder, you're a hodler, or you own an exchange. Those are the three times. It's not the only way, but one of the main ways. So if a person just used a fraction of a fraction of whatever they had to consistently hold or consistently earn, put their coin somewhere where it was multiplied to them over a period of time throughout years. Imagine. Throughout years. And if it's a sound product, if it's a sound coin, a sound token, sound protocol, contract, blockchain, whatever you want to call it, wouldn't you want to also experience? Wouldn't you be happy that you've done that? Now's the time for you to really assess and evaluate what's taking place, because this is what's worked. Certain steps, certain strategies, certain formulas that people have put in place. This is what's worked for them. This is what's available. And with no interruptions, you can't turn some of these things off. Now, I don't know about this particular protocol, so I'm not identifying it all the way around, but that's what's existent here. This is what's happened here. This is what's present here. This is what works here in the Hex ecosystem. It is what it is. Take care, folks. Be well.